People like to ask questions, see what's going on. And then we've made some images up too. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but I'm going to put them in the Skype here about the Earth, save the Earth idea, because it's very important and most people aren't paying attention. And so as long as we're here, we've got something to do, which is fun. And so, and Erick, you had a little experience. You shared yesterday. You want to tell them about that, where we're driving the little Nissan?
Sure. So yesterday I saw on the real side, I was driving my old car. It's a green Nissan Maxima, and I was in the driver's seat, and Duane was in the passenger seat. And he was sitting in the passenger seat, and in front of him, he had a big map open, and he was intently looking at the map, pointing to different parts on the map and telling me about the different points on the route that were coming up. And I just how focused he was looking at the map, and I noticed how focused I was driving the car and listening to what he had to share. And then the experience ended. Oh, what I saw from it? Okay, sure. Henry asked what I saw from it. So I saw that, well, actually, this was like this experience was kind of like a different view, because I had this experience before, but in the previous experience, it was Duane that was driving the car and I was in the passenger seat, like telling him where to go or whatever. So I kind of see this experience that I'm like more willing to be the decider in my life, but also I'm open to the guidance that he's giving me, and we're really focused on where we're going, which is these projects and stuff that we're doing here. Yeah. Anybody else see anything else?
Yes, we're having fun down here, and yes, everybody's welcome that wants to take part in what we're doing. Things are happening step by step. Henry and Erick are meeting a lot of people down here, a lot of people that do what we're doing. So it's all coming together, and from the real side too. So as things move along, we'll let everybody know that's interested. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Erick.
I have an experience to share.
Please go ahead, Biljana.
Okay. I had a funny dream a few days ago. I saw myself lying on the bed or a couch, and there was water inside the house, but it started from the outside. Outside the house, there was a flooding river, and then suddenly I saw water level rising inside my room, and then it also covered my bed. And at that moment, I decided to get up, and I looked outside, and I saw some gangsters, basically in my backyard, who came with like the old Nazi cars that German Nazis used to drive. And I look at them and I just realized there's something going on. Obviously, they're not here for something good. And I was looking to hear some advice from people around me. There were a few people in the house, including my mother, who passed away. And obviously, I just saw fear, and I decided to call the police. And I called the police, and I was yelling on the phone, like, "Hurry up! We have some gangsters doing something near our house. They're going to come in or whatever." And at that moment, I saw those gangsters climbing the stairs to enter inside my apartment. And I opened the door. I stood next to the door, and they opened it. And there was like a chief gangster pointing a gun towards me and shoot a bullet in my head, just in the middle of my forehead. But I stood on my legs. I didn't fall down, and I was aware I didn't die, so to say. And I said, why? Why did you shoot me? And he said, "It's all your fault. It's all your fault. You shouldn't have called the police. It's all your fault. And I was like, wow, what's going on? But funny thing is that I didn't even faint. It didn't hurt. I didn't die. Nothing happened. I was just shot in my head. So yeah, that was interesting thing. And that's all.
Biljana, hi, this is Duane. Did you kind of understand that? Do you see what's going on in the world today? All the riots and all the nonsense, the virus thing, whatever. You have it there too, where you're at?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's all instigated by the governments. They've done all this stuff on purpose because, again, they see what we're doing on the real side and the water itself, and with the people there, it shows the flood of this that's coming, that's already here. It's like a big flood, and it's affecting everybody. And it affects your sleep because it affects your bed. That's what the water is. And so water can mean many things, but in this instance here, and it's interesting, your deceased mom, etc., is still there. Well, she's still, part of your in your memory or something like that. But again, you're the decider. But what they're trying to do, yes, they shot you, but it wasn't real. In other words, what they were trying to do is scare you. They want you to agree, you see, and this is what they got most people to do. They want to scare you too, and get you to agree to all the fear and control they're doing. Do you see that?
Yeah, it makes sense. Their presence in my dream was basically fear.
Yeah, this is what's going on in the world. So it's also happening. See, you see it on the surface world, but really it's subliminal. It's psychological control is what this is. And so that's why you're seeing it on the real side too, because they're working all angles. It's just that it comes out on the surface world, our physical life, a particular way. But that's the end result, because again, they're doing everything subliminally also. So that's the flood. You're aware of it. You decide accordingly, but yes, we have to deal with things on this earth because we're here. But yeah, this is what's being promoted throughout the world over here, and I'm sure other countries too. They're delivering guns. The governments are delivering guns to people and gangs and etc. They're putting out loads of bricks and other things that people can throw. They've hired people to instigate the riots. A lot of these people are hired. Even the movie stars and other people are hired to say certain things and whatever. Yeah, it's all being instigated purposely to create all this commotion. And that shows me that because there's a bigger picture here with what we're doing in the real guides, and it's really bothering them on the real side, so they're agitating the world a whole lot more. So that's what you're seeing. Yes, thank you. Was there anything else you wanted to share?
Thank you. That's it for now.
Okay, thanks, Biljana. That was great.
Okay. I'll share a dream I had recently, and anybody can help me out with it, Duane. So, in the dream, I was walking around downtown where I live, and it was during the daytime. And then I heard on everybody's cell phones, that there was this mass news broadcasted on everyone's phone, and it was about the coronavirus. And the news said that like anybody who doesn't take the vaccines for the coronavirus, they're going to annihilate you. And how they were going to do it was they were going to actually kill people in car crushers. So it was really, really, it was different for me. And then, so that was the news on everybody's phones. And then I remember I was walking around and I was just seeing everybody afraid and scared. And then I remember I woke up in the dream and I became aware. And then I started just telling people that that's all fake. It's not real. It's all lies. But no one wasn't really paying attention. And then I tried to hold that position for as long as I could, and then I went to go look for one of my friends to wake her up, and then that's all I remember in that dream.
Yes. Hi, Kira. It's Duane. Yes, it's very simple. That is, it's during the day, which when you're awake, so it's all about being awake and you're aware and you see what it is. They're just scaring people. They're threatening them. It's a threat, and wanting people to be afraid and succumb to the idea to taking the vaccines. That's what they want. They need agreement first. And they were going to do, they had advertised for the longest time the chip for like 2017. Everyone was going to get the chip. Well, you know, they didn't get a lot of agreement. They need that agreement. They can try and force people, but then funny things happen. So again, they're going to dream up these extreme measures, like if you don't take the vaccine, you know, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, whatever. They're constantly threatening people to try to get them to agree, and you don't have to. And this is what people are, you know, little by little realizing that, yes, it is. These are just threats, and they're looking for that agreement. So you, again, you have the awareness. You don't have to agree, but most people react. They're afraid. That's an agreement too. They're looking for that also because they tap line them with that. So even if they don't take the vaccine, they've got the fear that they tap line them with, and they've got that agreement. So that's subliminal, and most people don't see that because they just see the surface world. So it's a warning, it's a hint, and again, you're the decider. And this is the adventure, and yes, we have to deal with it. It's the earth, so that's why I always keep busy with something that's a real challenge to see who will wake up. And as we do this, they don't like it either, so they amp up what they're doing. So it's interesting. But what we're doing is we're not protesting, we're not demonstrating, we're not rebelling. We're just showing people and along with ourselves how to become more aware. It's all about awareness. It's so cool. And there's no violence or anything with it. It's just like the birds flying around. They're just aware, and they see the silly things humans are doing, and they don't agree. And they're fine. They just fly around. So we as people, we can do the same thing with our awareness. We don't have to agree to any of this nonsense. So yes, it's very good. It's just showing you what's going on in the world because people make choices, and a lot of people agree. They're agreeing. You see all the people wearing the masks because they're afraid, and sometimes you got to wear them. We have a market down here. I wear the masks in there because otherwise they don't let you in, so it's fine. But people are breaking free of this stuff. Finally, they're just not agreeing, and so things are taking their place. But they're going to constantly try and bombard you. There was ex-President Bush and ex-President Obama. These two Nazis have been on Facebook and that, and Obama's telling people, backing the protesters, saying, oh, you should protest for change. Well, if you look at his campaign, he ran on hope and change. And when they use the idea, that's a marketing ploy, the idea of change, people are thinking, oh, it's going to change for the better. No, they know that that's what people think. It's going to change for the worst. It always does. And so here's these Nazis, these old Nazis promoting change and telling the protesters to keep going because they know that they will trap themselves through agreement. So again, it's not about protesting, and the change that he's talking about will get worse for everybody because they'll have trapped themselves and they'll agree. When you're protesting the establishment, you're agreeing with it. This is another form of agreement. So the best thing to do is just do what you do and deal with it, and you don't have to agree. But yes, thank you so much for sharing. These things are very important to understand because this is how the world is, and to get through it, it's a whole lot. But as we get together and we share an understanding, well, you do a lot better. So you're okay. That's all. Just like the sun shining, you're okay. Thank you.
Before this dream, experience. I was singing the new You song and allow the Bizarre to come in and show me what I can be shown and to be more aware. And so I also was worried about all this EMF and all this stuff now, poisoning and toxic, and people are confused. And then this dream. So I was in this building and with these women, and it was on kind of a moment for receiving a gift, a present. I didn't know how to feel about it, but I accepted the gift, and it was a necklace, a collier, I don't know what to say in English. And it was like grayish, like dark silver stones on a string, rather long one. And it was small, medium and large in size, and I chose the medium size. I didn't saw the woman who gave me this present, couldn't see her face. And then I woke up and I googled that it was like hematite stones, and I saw it was for cleansing the blood. Ah, just a thought. And that was the dream. Okay, thank you.
And so, Bonnie, this is Duane. And so you're better today? Is that it? You're better off today? You had a gift and it was a blood cleaner, the stones, whatever. So you're better today?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay, something happened, right?
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think about that afterwards. I just, what is this kind of for stones? And hematite stones and yes, but I'm feeling better. Yes, you are right.
Well, it's a little hint too. There's crystals, there's gemstones, and if you go surfing every morning, that'll help too.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, or skateboarding. Had you thought of that?
You give me hints. Yes, yes.
Yes, there's always something to do, isn't there? Yeah.
Love cleaning. Ah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Again, the fun part is taking on challenges that you've never done before that seem impossible. Okay. And for those that really want to become more aware, that's the idea. Yes. And so again, the challenge to recognize the is, because it's a reality that you cannot consider. All right. So there's something to consider, think about, whatever. So you will never be able to consider it. Yeah, there's a challenge, huh? And so to recognize that and also take on challenges that make sense with the world that seem impossible. That's the fun part too, because you have the opportunity to do that every moment. Everybody does. But most people just do the same old things. They look for something that massages their emotional, personal behavior. See, and there is a difference. Again, the sun shining demonstrates something very real and sincere, and it's not in any way after comfort, is it? And it's a reflection. It provides an appearance of what life is. It's so cool, isn't it? So there's so much more to life than this little personal self that we have. But in the meantime, yes, these little things come along, but is that really what we're looking for? We are the decider, aren't we? Yeah. I like the impossible challenges. Those are a lot more fun. But not everybody will do that because they will consider that, oh no, you can't do that. But yet other people are doing it or things are going on, etc. Yeah, that's what we're all about, the new presentation. Something more so than what we've known. Yeah, there is a bigger picture always. That's the unknown. That's the best part. Stepping into the unknown, taking on the challenge of something you don't know. What is it? Who will consider that? Very few. Yes, thank you for sharing, Glenn.
Thank you so much, Duane.